All right, and we're going. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode of the As of Unyet Named Movie Podcast. I'm here today with my hosts, Deacon and Malice. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
I'm all right.
Pretty great.
Doing good. So we just got done watching the Minecraft movie. It was certainly an experience. Let's start with opening thoughts, I guess. What do you guys think of the movie?
It was the movie of all time.
I appreciate that they knew from the get-go that they shouldn't take it too seriously. I think that really helped a lot.
I agree with that sentiment.
It's this movie's interesting. So let me pull up the Wikipedia article here. Craft movie. So this movie is directed by Jared Hess, and this is the man behind such hit classics as Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, two of the greatest comedy films of all time.
Absolute classics. I think the last time I saw Nacho Libre was with you, actually.
I remember. I think we watched it a few weeks ago.
So funny.
The fact that it's called a Minecraft movie implies that there's going to be more than one,
which I would love, because I think this movie is great. I liked it.
I think what it implies specifically, though, is that it opens the door for if they want to go in a different direction, like explore a different story or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Which I think was probably the smartest move, because I'm positive that they had no idea how well this would do or how poorly it would do. It turned into a success, obviously, a great success, but, you know, they were probably hedging their bets like, we don't want this to be the only possible thing people think of with Minecraft if it turns out to be terrible.
I do think it'd be cool if they did, since it's a Minecraft movie, I think it'd be cool if they did it as, an anthology type thing.
Just call it Steve, My Beginnings.
or have different Minecraft movies, not necessarily live action. Like, you could have a few animated ones. You could have another couple live action ones. But I like the idea of you get a bright and upbeat movie like this, and then the next one is just tonally dark, Logan style Minecraft, just a guy,
a villager saving his baby that wandered into a stronghold or something gritty.
You get something hilarious like this, and then you just get dark and gritty Minecraft.
Right. Well, do you guys remember the Fallen Kingdom music video series?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Like the Viva La Vida video and everything. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, I loved that.
Fallen Kingdom series?
Yeah, it was a Minecraft.
We should.
Yeah. We shouldn't watch the whole thing because it's half an hour, but.
Well, that and I mean,
but no, it is
copyrighted.
Well, it's a parody.
It's a classic. It's a classic. As you can see, it has 36 million views.
Yeah, Captain Sparkles made this, and it was fantastic, and I loved it.
Captain Sparkles. Captain Sparkles. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the general premise is a guy used to be a king, then someone griefed it, and then a bunch of mobs got in and leveled the entire kingdom pretty much in a night. It's very sad for what it is, honestly.
So this is the highest.
Well, that's
grossing... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
This is the second highest grossing video game movie, sandwiched between the Super Mario Brothers movie and Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
I can't believe Warcraft is that high. What?
Warcraft is number 5.
What?
Hold on. What's this?
It was awful.
Okay, so Super Mario Brothers, Minecraft, Sonic 3, Detective Pikachu is number 4. That makes sense. Detective Pikachu.
I liked that. That was
I
delightful.
thought Detective Pikachu was all right. I thought it was good, but I was one and done with it personally.
Then we had Warcraft, Rampage, which I haven't seen. Uncharted.
Don't. It's not worth it.
I did watch Uncharted when it came out. I thought it was a fun action movie, but I've never seen the actual. I've never played.
You never played the game
before.
I'm waiting for Far Cry 3, the movie. and I'm gonna be waiting a while.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was good. I liked the Angry Birds movie. It's not a great movie, but it is fun. The original Sonic the Hedgehog from 2020 is at number 11, beaten out by Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
That was such a weird movie.
Yeah.
You know, I was disappointed with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Really? I liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I don't know. I feel like it was it felt a bit too silly. Like, I thought it was weird that they just befriended the kids inside of the animatronics.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have stayed more malevolent, at least for a bit.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
A little bit, but otherwise I thought it was good.
Why is my mic... Hold on a second. I gotta turn up my mic input here. There we go. All right. That's a little better. So, yeah, I know they're making the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and it's coming out this year. They released...
Oh, dude, I was excited to, like... They were gonna do a whole, like, ghost kitchen pizzeria thing for a bit.
Yeah,
it got shut down, though.
This will be interesting. I'm interested to see how this will turn out, because it wasn't a great movie, but I did like the animatronics. I liked Matthew Lillard for the 5 minutes he was in the movie.
Oh shit, that's the
December.
Gone to Fix My Friends.
Yeah, this is pretty soon.
Everywhere.
Who's that?
So
that
is this
guy
going to
looks
be
familiar.
the 80s location, or... Oh, it is.
Wait a minute, hold on. Was that Wayne Knight?
Wait, hold on. I saw... Okay, hold on. Let's see who we see in here. I love how this... Okay, so we got... Oh, that's Mangle.
That looks excellent, dude.
Toy
Yeah, no,
Bonnie.
it's going to be all the toy characters.
Bye!
This
Also
is
an
gonna be awesome.
endoskeleton.
I hope they show Golden Freddy. He's my favorite.
Well, also, like, throughout this, they've been playing the little tinkle from the puppet.
Yeah, of course they're going to have the puppet.
For those unaware, I am... Yeah, right. For those unaware, I'm actually a pretty big Five Nights at Freddy's fan.
I like Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'm too much of a coward to play the actual games. So like,
I loved it for the first two games. I thought it kind of started to fall off at the third one.
I'm into it for like a storytelling perspective, because like, this is the first time that I've seen a horror series created by a conservative Christian gain this much traction before. And so like, I think that's kind of cool. And I like the story and the timeline, but the actual game itself scares me.
I like that this one looks like it's actually going to be horror, you know.
The other one had some horror elements, but it wasn't really horror.
Yeah, that's why I'm
It was about as much
excited for this one.
It was about as much I was going to say it was about as much horror as that Nicolas Cage, Five Nights at Freddy's clone movie. What was that one called?
It is Wayne Knight.
I haven't heard of it.
Dude, that's the guy from Jurassic World, the fat guy.
Yeah.
Like, Dodgson, we got Dodgson here. I didn't know he was still alive. Good for him. I like him.
Holy crap! But no, what was that? What was that movie with Nicolas Cage where it's basically Five Nights at Freddy's?
Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah.
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 Never heard
Okay.
of it.
Really?
Oh boy, dude.
Oh, we gotta watch that next. That's actually a pretty good fucking movie.
Not today. We're not watching it today, but yeah.
No, not today. But it is so goofy because it's basically
So-
Five Nights at Freddy's, but the guy just beats the shit out of all of the animatronics.
So this is like,
It's
Oh my god, that looks so creepy. What the fuck is wrong with that gorilla?
It's grand.
dude,
I love
what's
it.
great about this movie, Nicolas Cage doesn't say a single word throughout the entire film. He doesn't.
He's mute the whole movie?
He's
Yeah.
the whole movie, and he's the main character, dude.
Well, so this movie, I'm pretty sure, like, tell me if I'm wrong. This movie was the end of his cursed arc.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because like this was the last movie he had to make for just the money.
Yeah, this is.
Oh,
like,
so he's not in Crippling Dead anymore?
no.
Yeah, this was the last movie
because
that he was in debt for.
He just got like a ton of movies after this, and now he just does stuff that he finds interesting, which I think is really funny. Like, He'll find the most like absurd script ever and be like, "Yeah, I want to do that," and then he'll just do it. Like,
because the thing with he got in huge, just crippling debt with
because he bought like dinosaur bones and meteorites, didn't he?
He also owned like
shrunken
15
heads. And...
He had like 15 different yachts. It was insane. Yeah, so he had to like his manager was like, "Dude, sell all this stuff, and just take every single movie offer that comes your way. You cannot say no, otherwise you are going to you have to declare bankruptcy and you might go to jail."
And he's been in a lot of movies since 2020. He was in The Old Way, which I saw that with my dad. It's like an old Western film.
Ooh, I love Western films.
He was in The Croods too. He was in the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is a really fun movie.
Wasn't he in that? Wasn't he in that one movie where is that Longlegs? The one where he starts appearing in people's dreams.
He plays Longlegs.
No, that's not Longlegs.
No, this is Longlegs.
No, I'm saying what I'm thinking of isn't Longlegs.
Yeah, he plays like this creepy, I guess, woman serial killer or something. But he's such a sweetheart. Like, he said in an interview after he made that movie that, like, he doesn't want to do movies where he plays villains like this anymore because he doesn't like playing characters that hurt people.
Oh, the movie was called Dream Scenario, I think.
Dream Scenario. Yeah, here it is.
He just showed up in people's dreams and started following them, and then he just started killing people
that's
in their
not
dreams.
creepy at all.
A family man finds his life turned upside down when millions of strangers suddenly start seeing him in their dreams.
He's literally the "Have you seen this man?"
Oh no.
We are getting off topic though. We gotta talk about the movie.
Right,
100%.
Minecraft.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh,
So-
we derailed entirely there. Holy crap!
I will say one big thing I couldn't stop thinking about with Minecraft was how good the food looked.
The
like
food looks
they
excellent.
really, whoever did like the practical and special effects. I heard it's just
I
straight
know.
silicone for the chicken, and then they just green screened over it.
I'm so hungry now.
So the movie begins with, like, you've got little baby Steve, and the first thing he says is, "As a child, I yearned for the mines," which
with that
the
old
meme.
decrepit prospector trying to block his way. Yeah.
and so he goes into like real estate or something. Like, there's a deleted
A
scene.
doorknob salesman. He was a
Doorknob
doorknob
salesman.
salesman.
Right? Like what?
So he sells doorknobs, and then he just goes back to the mine, and he's Jack Black now. And that old guy is there.
That's the plot. He just turns into Jack Black.
That old guy is there, and he hasn't aged a day. And so he goes.
Yeah, no, like Jack Black's like an adult. He's got a beard. This guy looks exactly the same.
It's hilarious. And so he goes into the overworld, and he befriends a square dog, which we'll talk more about the square dog in a second. And then
I love the square
I love
dog.
the square dog. And then he starts just building stuff. And then he comes across the Nether, and he's imprisoned by this pig named Malgosha, which, like, Malgosha's the main villain of this film, but she's not...
Oh yeah, wait. Before we go any further, spoiler warning for the Minecraft movie.
Oh yeah, if you care about that sort of thing.
If you haven't watched it yet.
So
I don't know why you're still here if you do.
Malgosha is, like, supposed to be, like, the main villain of the film. But she's
You don't
not,
see a lot of her though.
You don't see a lot of her, and she's not even, like, a real character in the game. Like,
she's just the motivator. Like, she moves the plot along.
like yeah. Like, when I hear Minecraft movie, I think, like, oh, who's the villain gonna be? Which boss is it? Is it gonna be, like, the Elder Guardian or the Ender Dragon or the Wither? No, it's this pig lady.
I mean, I like that they expand a bit on I'm not gonna call it like Minecraft lore or anything,
Yeah.
but I like that they expand on the livelihoods of piglins a little bit, even if it is like a like creative liberty direction. Like, oh, there was a talent show and Malgosha danced and it was too creative, so she wanted to destroy everything creative.
Yeah, hold that's a bit of a thing. Like, wait a minute. If the piglins hate like creativity, why have a talent show?
Yeah. Like,
No, the piglins don't. She does, and she's in charge.
Well, no, they said it was an annual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that the piglins don't have a problem with creativity. She does.
Well, no, because then her dad was like, "You're too creative, Malgosha. Now shut up and go dig gold."
Well, yeah, because like I mean, you look at these modern artists. Some of them are really creative, but would you call it art worth having around? Like,
I mean, yeah, that's a fair point.
I don't.
You're gonna start a firestorm in the comments.
I don't. If people want to defend modern art, I don't care about their opinion. I'm gonna be honest.
Like,
they
Oh,
think what they
jeez.
wish.
banana taped up to the wall. Oh yeah, this is art, you guys. This is
And the janitor comes and eats it.
deep
Oh,
philosophical.
I'm gonna
meaning.
chain up a starving dog in a corner to make you feel bad about animal cruelty. That's
I remember
art.
That actually happened. That was a real thing that someone did.
They fed him like when
What?
the museum was closed and would unchain him while it was closed, but during the day he was chained up and starved.
That's horrific.
Yeah. I've heard worse. People do really like horrible things to like animals in the name of art, dude. But that's neither here nor there. I
it
will say I kind of felt bad for the piglins for a good chunk of the movie. Because the whole thing is like one of the first things you see with Malgosha is you see this like little like kid penguin, and he's just doodling a house, and she sees him doodling a house and stabs him for it, like
She's
just
like-
kills him straight up.
She's like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Like-
he's like, and he's like, "Come here,
And
I won't hurt you." Come
and,
here.
and she just goes, "How does
Stab.
this help me find gold?" And just stabs him in the chest.
Yes, he just kills him. On the subject of pigs dying, I had to Google this. This happened pretty recently. 3 piglets were stolen from an art exhibit where they were meant to starve to death until a 10-year-old girl spoke up.
Yeah, I heard about that.
What?
Yeah, so these
Yeah.
like
It was
artist-
called "And Now You Care."
artist Marco Evaristi, I don't know how to pronounce that, opened the And Now You Care exhibit on
That's the guy that did the starving dog one.
on Friday.
He's done a bunch of these.
On Friday in Copenhagen to wake up the Danish society to the cruel treatment of factory farmed pigs in the nation that is one of the world's largest pork exporters. To make his point about animal cruelty, he exercised animal cruelty, constructing a cage of hay and shopping carts, trapping a trio of adorable piglets inside, with the express purpose of allowing them to starve to death.
How
Yeah,
dare he? They could have grown up and be delicious.
Yeah.
it could have been paired with a nice baby cow for a delicious bacon
Get a
cheeseburger.
good bacon cheeseburger.
Exactly.
You know, pork chops, pretty good.
I want some schnitzel. You know, that German
All right.
like, fried,
All right.
pork chop.
Yeah.
Yum.
We're getting into
I'm still hungry. I'm
Speaking
still
of-
hungry.
Yeah,
So-
no, Deacon's starving because they showed sizzling pork chops every 5 seconds. And
I'm hungry now. Damn it.
Deacon, go grab something to eat. Like, we can fill it. Just like go grab
No,
a
it's
spoon.
fine. I have some crackers in front of me and some sardines. I'm
Like,
eating
there's-
those.
like there's a part where they're in the Woodland Mansion, and like the main character finds this chest full of like sizzling steaks. I could practically hear like drool like pitter pattering out of Deacon's mouth.
You can hear his mic. He was going.
Well, I'm
Just,
eating now.
just
I'm hungry.
the Homer Simpson. Oh.
So he's imprisoned.
How long it's been since I've had a good steak? Jeez.
My brother brought me like our parents bought like a half a cow and sent some home with my brother, and my brother's my neighbor, and so he brought me some like short ribs and a sirloin, which was so good. I haven't had
Oh,
beef in
gosh.
ages.
Nice.
So yeah, he's captured by Malgosha, who wants the orb that he found to control the overworld. And Steve found like this orb, but it's a cube, but they call it the orb. And so he has this dog.
Lady, where I'm from, we call this a cube.
We call it a cube. And so he gives this orb cube to Dennis, his dog. And Dennis escapes to the real world. So he leaves the Minecraft world through this portal, and he goes to the real world, and he hides it under his bed.
And just no one notices that there's just
A square
a
dog.
Minecraft dog running around
So
in this small town of was it Chugless,
Chugless,
Idaho?
Chugless, Idaho.
It's called
We need to
Chugless,
make
Idaho.
wait, guys. We need to make a pilgrimage to Chugless,
We need to
Idaho.
go to.
I don't think it's a real place.
Hold on, I need. It'd be so funny if it was a real place. Is Chugless, Idaho, real?
It's a fictional
No.
town. Yeah, it's a
Aw,
fictional
no,
town.
It's not real.
Filmed New
It
Zealand.
was filmed
What?
in New Zealand?
Really?
They filmed the movie
That-
in Huntley,
huh?
New Zealand.
That's
According
funny.
to Deseret News, that's really funny.
That's hilarious, dude. That's really funny. So yeah, then there's like a time skip, and so it's like what 10 years later, like because
Right.
we meet the second main character, and it's Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, who's played by Jason Momoa, everyone's favorite sexy Aquaman, and so he runs in the 80s.
He gets the name, by the way, from playing, if I remember correctly, it's a trash-themed video game, and he's like the 1980s champion, even though it's a two-player game, and he played it by himself in the tournament, I guess.
And so then he got he got a dealership with Sizzler.
$12,000 dealership with
Sizzlers.
dealer with
Deal
Sizzlers,
with
yeah.
Sizzler, and he uses it.
But yeah, in the '80s, that's a decent amount of cash.
It's like
That's a lot of
37 grand. Yeah, he could buy a house with that money back then.
But instead, he uses it to open up a video game store, and then it's like 20 years later, and some time must have passed because he goes to this auction at a storage unit, and it's a storage unit with all of Steve's stuff. So, like, it's got the cube orb there, and like a bunch of blue shirts. And so, at some point, we don't know how long it is, but he must have been gone long enough that they repoed all his stuff.
I also love how so the reason he Garbage Man Garrett
Yeah.
buys the unit is because he thinks there's like a really like rare Atari in there.
And so he tells the guy, like, dude, keep the sale under $100 and I'll be your best friend. And he's like, okay. And then
He's like, I'll make all your weird fan friendship fantasies come true. And he goes, just us two big buffaloes out there in the field with our unisex teal blouses. Like, he just got way too into it.
this movie gets very homoerotic. Like, it's subtle, but it's really funny at the same time.
It's like they have such a
Subtle,
massive
but it wasn't
bromance.
subtle.
It's not subtle at all.
They 69.
They did
It's not subtle at all.
There's a part in the movie where they're escaping on an elytra on Garrett's back, and Steve is like, or no, it was Garrett's like, we need to like go like face to butts here or something. So they do like this little spin maneuver, and they like hug each other at each other's thighs to go through a hole in a wall.
And he says, like, I'm going
really
to...
goofy.
He says, I'm going to close my legs for your safety.
Before that, when he's just riding on Garrett's back, he's like, let my hips guide you. Like,
Yeah,
it's
he says, let my hips
it's-
guide you.
so funny.
Oh, weird.
I just like I was telling them, I don't know who out there's familiar, but there's a YouTuber called Sexual Lobster. I'm a huge fan. His content is nothing but like homoerotic manly man comedy, and it's
Yeah.
just really I saw them like do this like bro like forearm grip and just go and I'm like, oh my god, it's just Sexual Lobster. That's what this is.
And so they cut to some time later, and now we like Jack Black and Jason Momoa are really the only characters that are interesting in the film. And so then we meet like our next three main characters, and there's like this kid and his sister moving into this house in Chugless after their mom dies, and they meet this real estate agent who's like a plus size lady who runs a petting zoo. And so
And
like,
also does real estate and has like 13 other jobs.
Yeah, she's got a bunch of
apparently.
side hustles. She's got side hustles. That's it.
he like he goes to school the next morning, and his sister sends him with like this giant plate full of tater tots and bacon.
It's a tater tot pizza.
It's a breakfast pizza because it's got like cheese,
pizza.
eggs, and bacon in it.
And she told him to hand out slices to make friends.
Like, which
Garrett just without any like warning or request just jams his fingers through the tinfoil and takes out a fistful though. What's with the breakfast pizza?
He's like, leave the pizza here, nerd.
Yeah, there was I remember back when I used to live in New York, there was this place that would make breakfast pizza, and I usually grab it on my way to work. And it was pretty good stuff. I liked it.
I like breakfast pizza. It's I really like the like I used to work at Job Corps, and they would have like breakfast for all their student employees, and they would always do breakfast pizza on Wednesdays. Oh, that stuff is so good. It's like a cheese sauce, and then like there's like eggs and bacon and sausage on it.
Yeah. Oh, it's delicious.
It's so good. Casey's, if you haven't had Casey's breakfast pizza, that's the best breakfast pizza.
Right, I forgot you went to Job Corps as well.
Yeah.
No, our special thing was the guy who ran the cafeteria made really good omelets. Every Friday we had omelet morning.
Omelets
was
are pretty
great.
good. They had a giant jar of Nutella at our Job Corps for a while, and so I would always get toast with Nutella, which is not good for you at all, but
But it's delicious.
So he goes to school now without pizza. And
there's like the most as he puts it, the most anti-human interaction you could possibly have.
Yeah. Oh
he
my
goes
gosh.
he
Those
goes
kids are weird.
he goes into math or no, it was art class, and he's sketching this like jetpack design, and this one kid's like, that'll never work, and he goes, it's just simple math, really. And then some other kid goes like word for word, my dad says that they debunked math.
Math doesn't
like,
exist
what?
now, guys. Wait, here it is. I found it. He's like, I'm gonna talk over it just because I don't want to get copyright claim. But yeah, they have to draw these fruit. They have to do still lifes, and so he's drawing like a banana with a jetpack on it.
Jetpack banana.
And his teacher's like, you stupid. You can't be creative in art class. What are you, stupid? And then this kid's like,
I have to say though that
like,
yeah, debunk.
The general like theme of the movie is more or less like the real world has stressors that inhibit your creativity.
Yeah.
But like so I guess you could say that staying in the overworld is like just a form of escapism and, you know, rejecting just being part of society.
Malgosia.
yeah.
But they decide, you know, at the end of the movie to come back out of the overworld and still be creative. So instead of shutting themselves out from society or giving up on their dreams, they learn to incorporate their creativity to find happiness, which is a beautiful message, but it's hidden behind a lot of nonsense.
And they're like, oh, this kid wants to be a rocket scientist, you stupid. And so they're like, okay, prove it, build a jetpack. And so he goes and he proves them wrong. He builds the jetpack. There's like a whole montage of it. But then they like clip. He's about to launch.
They snip like a wire before it launches, and then they're like, we told you," and the rocket like goes off and blows up the town mascot.
Yeah, so it's like they try sabotaging him, I guess, to prove that he can't actually do it. But to be fair, he did build a functioning jetpack. Like.
And like even though they sabotaged it, it's still a functioning jetpack. It just got out of hand at the end. So if anything, that just proves that he's onto something.
You're right.
So his
blows
sister,
up the potato chip factory.
His
sister's like working in she's like the new social media like hire for the potato chip company that the town is like named after, I guess.
It's built around.
And then
the
jetpack like blows up the statue of the potato.
Oh my gosh! Wait, hold on. Go back.
His name's Chuggy.
Hold on. Go back to the crowd of people.
Yeah.
Or not the crowd, but like I just noticed something.
So
Start here.
It
Wait,
shoots
hold on.
the potato, and they
I
all
just
scream.
really wait. Pause. Oh damn it.
Let me. I'll get it right. I'll
Wait,
get it right. Hold
yeah.
on. All right, I'm pausing it. Right. Okay, there they are.
Now, so the old woman in the front
Yeah.
with the suit
This guy. This lady.
that look. Have you seen Viva La Dirt League?
I don't know what that is.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh! No.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Oh my! They make
No.
they make all. There's these New Zealander guys. They make a lot of really funnies. Not that woman. The other one.
This one.
The one with the suit jacket. Yeah. I swear she's in like some of their videos.
Probably.
Huh.
I wouldn't put it past.
Seeing as this is New yeah, she
I think
plays.
it's-
So have you? I can't believe you guys have never heard of Viva. You know, Epic NPC Man.
No.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I gotta show you guys that later. I am mad now.
So he.
But yeah, like she just his like sister is giving an important like presentation. Like, I think you guys should stop calling your chips salt sacks. And then there's just a big eruption, and you just see Chuggy the potato just this building-sized potato mascot fall off of the roof of the factory.
Fall into the river. And
They're like, good news, no one died. Like,
the kid gets.
He killed Chuggy the potato.
He killed Chuggy the potato, which is sacrilege. So he gets thrown in detention, and then the principal, who's played by Jennifer Coolidge, is.
I'm gonna be so real. The principal is more essential to the story than like
the
2/3 of the than like half of the characters that enter the overworld. Like, because like all she does is like marry a villager, but that's so funny.
It is.
That's
funny.
so funny.
She's
like-
in what are the movies?
She learns how to speak villager, and the villager learns how to speak like English basically in less than 24 hours, and then they get married. Like, that's so funny. But like,
What other? I'm looking
like-
at seeing what other movie she was in. She was in. Oh, okay. She was Aunt Fanny in the Robots movie.
oh, I can see that. I can see that.
I like her. She's really funny.
no, I recognize her from a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, she's
But,
been in
like-
a lot. She was in the.
But
Emoji
like,
movie.
so
Oh god.
the thing I realized the first time I saw this movie, when I was like just going to a theater,
Yeah.
and what I realized like halfway through watching it today was, I was like, huh, you could really cut out like both of the female leads in this movie and
Yeah.
nothing would be lost. And I'm not saying that it's because they're women. I'm saying because they're not funny and they don't do anything.
They really
like,
don't.
They literally do nothing in the whole movie, and
The sister,
weird.
most of the time, she's just screaming after her brother.
She's like,
yeah,
"Henry,
like
come back."
all the sister does is talk about how she needs to protect her brother. Meanwhile, her brother's like the most capable person in the universe other than Steve.
Like, he builds a
real estate
jetpack. He
agent.
built a jetpack. He builds a gun. Like, he knows what he's doing.
he brought
I
a
think
gun
he's-
into Minecraft and it fires freaking tater tots.
He
and it
built a
kills
gun
zombies.
in Minecraft. Like,
Right,
Henry's.
but like the real estate agent lady, all she does is go, "What the hell?"
Yeah, she goes.
Well, I guess
What the
I guess
hell?
there have to be like deleted scenes out there where she's doing more with animals, because they kind of shoehorn at the end. Well, yeah, she runs a petting zoo, so she's good with animals, but they don't really show her interacting with animals except for like the very end of it when she finds Dennis.
I'm looking in the
Right.
extras.
That's the square dog.
So,
for people who haven't seen the movie.
Like, when you buy movies digitally now, it comes with the bonus features, which is great. And
Oh,
so
lovely.
usually it'll show deleted scenes and stuff. I'm not seeing any of that in.
So they really just didn't give them anything. Like, they gave them nothing to work with for the plot, I guess.
Hold on,
like,
maybe there's. There's only like one deleted scene, and it was from that leaked cut. There's the scene.
Oh, it's just from him.
This is from the bootleg work print that was leaked. So it's
What's with all the Arabic writing?
because it was leaked from India.
Of course it
I
was.
thought it was leaked from China.
It was leaked from somewhere, but
India,
no, it was India.
China,
Yeah, you're right,
could be
you're right.
anywhere.
India, China,
right,
could
it
be
was
anywhere.
India.
We don't know, but
It was India. You're right. You're right.
they have this scene where he's like he wants to build a resort, and he's pitching it to a bunch of geriatrics, and they're like, we don't like your idea, and then he gets all sad, and that's what makes him go to the mine, and then he builds Steve's World, which is just his resort in Minecraft.
I
And
feel like that's me.
It's
in
more
real
like a
life.
theme park in what we
Yeah.
see, though.
well, and I feel
It
like
doesn't
this
feel.
this would have been like a better scene to leave in there. Like I don't understand why they cut it.
Because the movie wasn't that long. How long was the movie? Like
It was
an
only
hour?
like an hour 40. It's it's pretty short.
It could have been longer. They didn't need to cut it out so much.
Yeah, it's pretty fast paced. But it feels like that's the only deleted scene that I can find, which means they didn't give the female characters much stuff to do.
We're not being harsh on them if you haven't seen it. They literally gave them nothing to do.
They don't do much. So
They build a mushroom house.
They don't have anything all that funny to say except for like maybe one sentence from the real estate lady.
yeah.
And they don't do anything essential to the plot. Like they don't have any moments where they save someone else's life besides each other's. Like
Oh no.
they don't contribute anything, and it's kind of frustrating. It's like you added these characters, it feels like, to check a box rather
Yeah.
than anything.
And so you've got Jennifer Coolidge, and she says like, I'm gonna call your guardian, and so he gives Garrett, the garbage man Garrison, $30 to come pretend to be his guardian.
It was like $26.
It's like, yeah, $26. And there's the scene where he pulls up out front, and he's like, I'm Garrett, the garbage man Garrison, and I'm his uncle. And then she's like, oh, you're the garbage man? I'll let you bag me up and put me out on the curb.
Oh god!
Like, it's so strange.
And you can see in his face that he's like
repulsed.
mocking her and grossed out, but he goes, whoever divorced you is an idiot.
And then he just drives off, like. But I thought that was, yeah, she says, you can bag me up and take me to the curb anytime.
Oh god!
So they go back to Garrett's game store, and they find this cube.
The orb of dominance.
The orb of dominance. And there's a note, a very oddly specific
Which-
note with it that says,
Because the orb of dominance is from Minecraft Dungeons.
that makes sense. I've never played Minecraft Dungeons, but I'd imagine it must be.
Yeah, there's a villain called the Arch Illager, and he's this tiny little runt, and he uses it to cause mayhem.
So they go.
Oh yeah, the note.
They have this note with the orb that I guess Steve left, and it says, "Never under any circumstances combine the orb and the crystal. Do not follow
Which he
this."
does immediately.
He does it immediately, and then it says, "Do not follow this orb." And then even if you're a struggling business owner and need a ton of cash fast because there's loads of treasure down there, but it's not worth the danger. So,
Like, wow, that's helpful.
How
It's totally
convenient.
not an incentive.
what a coincidence! So of course they take the orb, and it leads them down to this cave where they meet up with
The mine.
Dawn and the real estate lady, and then they all get sucked into the portal.
La Portal.
And so they film a lot of like the sets and stuff practically. They use CGI to fill in some of it, but like there's this bit that was kind of weird where yeah, here it is. So they fly out the portal, and then
There it is.
they bounce off of Garrett like very weirdly. I don't know like if it's CGI or what, but like right here, like Dawn goes, she's flying forward, she's like upright, and then she hits Garrison, and then she like bounces and she's horizontal now. And it looks very bizarre. And then
Very weird.
and then plus-sized woman comes in and whacks him with her butt because haha funny.
And she's all, my butt.
She's like, my
butt."
butt. And so while they do that, a villager finds the portal and walks out of it.
Goes through.
And, and he's like, "Arr, and so there he goes. And then after that,
Bravest villager.
after that, we meet Malgosia again. And
Yeah, this is where she stabs the one pig.
Yeah, she sees this little kid, like just drawing a picture, And she's like, "Oh, it's so pretty." And then, but how's it gonna help me find more gold? And then she just kills this child and turns it into a pork chop.
Yum.
Which, I'm gonna be honest, the food in Minecraft does look really good. Like, I don't know how they did it, but I would eat that pork chop. That looks very appetizing. So they find out that the orb of dominance is back in the overworld, and they set Steve free because he was imprisoned. And they're like, "You're gonna go and find this cube, or we're gonna kill your dog." And they bluff and tell Steve that they have Dennis.
That implies that Steve has been in that prison for like how many years?
I don't know, like at least 5. If the storage unit is any indication, that's got to be at least like a few years.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I don't imagine he ever went back to the real world after. Like,
No.
I feel like he stayed in the overworld as
I
soon
know,
as he
but
went
I'm
through,
like,
so
I know.
I feel like if I had to guess, he was gone for, decades, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like he only got imprisoned, like, very recently.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, because he already had the gray beard when he got into the Nether and got captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So I think that that Dennis being there is like a very recent thing. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Probably. So we move on to the next scene, and you've got your main characters, and they're talking to this sheep
Because he thinks it's a quest
because he
giver.
thinks it's a quest giver. It's the characters act like this is a video game, even though it's like just a different dimension. So that's kind of
Right,
weird. This is the quest giver. This is like how we find our quest.
Yeah, I think there might have been like some directional changes because it's at no point are they ever like, "Oh, we've been sucked into a video game." They don't know it's a video game, so acting like it is a video game is a little weird.
They're like, "Oh, he's gonna give us a quest," and then it becomes nighttime, and all the mobs and the zombies come out, and we get like the first look at the skeletons and the zombies, and they look pretty cool. I kind of like that. But then there's a scene where like there's a bunch of spider jockeys, which I thought that was kind of silly because like if you go and you actually play Minecraft, spider jockeys are very rare. Like you have to be looking a while to find a spider jockey. It's a spider with a skeleton on top.
And they're horrifying, and I hate them.
So they get separated, and we find the creeper. I like the creeper design. He's kind of
Big
fuzzy.
and furry.
He looks kind of adorable. Like if this thing
It's a boosh.
didn't explode, I would give it a big ol' hug. It just looks adorable. But yeah, it blows up.
It's got ribs.
You can see the rib cage. It's like hollow. That's weird. Like there's nothing in the head. The head is hollow.
Head empty, no thoughts.
just explosions. And I'm skimming ahead here. Yeah, so they build.
Oh, the zombies are weird.
The zombies are weird. They build a tower, and they push zombies off of it. And the zombies are like kind of square, like they've got humanoid form, but like their butts are square. So like you can see the defined edges of this zombie's butt, which I just thought that was funny. Sorry if I'm saying too much. But yeah, they break the crystal by accident, and then Garrett shoves it in his pants. Garrett shoves it in his pants. And then,
I hate that. I hate it so much.
And then they get saved by Steve, and he uses one of his arms to whack it, and there it goes. And then
Epic fight scene.
Yeah, so all the zombies die, and then they change the take in this scene. So in the trailer, it's been memed to death now, but there's a scene where he goes like, I am Steve. And it's different in the movie than it is in the trailer. So like here's a side by side somebody did. So like here it is in the trailer.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
Right? And so he goes, I am Steve. But then in the movie he goes, I am Steve.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
So that's interesting. And I know movies do that a lot. They'll change takes every now and then. I just thought that was funny.
A weird one.
It was
Because the first one was fine.
He goes, "I
Oh well.
am Steve," and so he sees
And
that. Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole movie, Jack Black and Jason Momoa are just like weirdly competing with each other.
They have like
See
a
who
It's
can be
not.
the
It's not
bromance.
that they're competing. I don't think. I think it's just that Garrett's like really, really insecure because he peaked in the '80s, and Steve has been so without other people for so long that he's actually impressed by him and also just better than him
Yeah.
in that setting. So it's less so them competing and more so him wanting to impress Steve, I think.
Yeah.
Because Steve is just doing what makes sense to him.
So they form a bromance, and Steve is like, oh yeah, he wants the orb, and so he can give it to Malgosha and get Dennis back, allegedly. And they're like, no, we want to find a way out of here first. So they go, and they're gonna try and find a way out of there before Steve gets the cube back. And then we cut to the scene where a villager is walking across the street in the real world, and he gets hit by a Chevy Grand Cherokee. Or Jeep. Was it a Chevy Grand Cherokee or a Jeep Grand Cherokee?
It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, yeah.
They're very
and they
specific.
they make a point to mention that it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee every 5 seconds.
He's like-
it's really funny.
He's
When
like-
you struck me with that Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, and she like she hits him and she comes out of the car. She's like, "I'm so sorry. Everyone wants to sue me when I hit them with my Jeep Grand Cherokee."
Which assumes that she's hit many people with her Jeep Grand Cherokee.
This implies that it's happened more than once, which is just really funny to me. So she invites him on a dinner date, and she's like, "Oh, please don't sue me. Would you like to go on a dinner date?" And he goes, and so, and that scene isn't like relevant to the plot. It's like just a subplot that keeps going on.
It's just a B plot that's
It's a
really
B-plot.
entertaining. It's funny. It's really funny.
So then we go to the actual village, and I like the set design. I like how like all these houses and stuff are built practically. Like these are actually here. If you watch the behind the scenes footage, there's like, let me see, set design. Yeah, so there's like this making of, and they have like actual houses and stuff that they built. So like that's all actually there in the movie, which I thought was a nice touch. Because they could have just gone green screen the whole thing. But no,
Yeah, also Jeb is in the movie.
Jeb is in the movie as like a waiter. But yeah, they've got like square fruit, square trees. I thought that was cool. You can see them like working on it here, interacting with it. I thought that was neat. I thought that was it for a movie that is not very good. Like it has a lot of effort and love put into it, and you can tell that they really enjoyed doing what they were doing. So we're in the village, and we meet the iron golems, and they're like kind of like the Iron Giant because they're a bunch of big softies. And then there's the scene where they come across, who's that YouTuber? Friggin', they're like, is that a pig? No, that's a legend.
Oh, yeah,
Technoblade.
Technoblade.
They come across Technoblade. There's a
He's just a pig. It's a little reference to him, yeah.
There's a Technoblade.
Which I'm gonna be honest, I feel like was kind of a lazy way to throw him in there, personally.
A little bit.
But I'm glad they did it, don't get me wrong, but it just felt kind of forced.
It was a nice like nod to him though, because I feel like he was. I don't know much about like Minecraft YouTube, but he seemed to be like really big in the community, and so I know a lot of people were like really sad when he passed away.
It was a very expected thing because he had been dying for a while.
Yeah, well, the last video was like his dad reading it like a eulogy, and talking about like his son passing away.
Yeah.
But then we cut to they're at the they say all the villagers are vegetarian, right? like Steve's like, yeah, they're all
But he builds this
vegetarian.
lava chicken.
They're all vegetarian and they love eating bread and crushing a loaf. But then Steve just
They
built.
love crushing loaf.
Steve built a chicken shop in the middle of this vegetarian village. So, I just think that's funny.
But like my argument though is, you know, how many times have you built stuff for you in a village?
Yeah.
Like, you're not building it for the villagers.
No, like he's got a villager here, so presumably, like, you know, if you're building like a library or something, and you want like a clerk, you'll imprison a villager in the library or in the place here. So that means, statistically speaking, he built this and then trapped a villager here, and the vegetarian villager just accepted its fate as a chicken salesman.
It is sell the lava fried chicken, which, oh my gosh, looks absolutely delicious.
Dude, I don't know what they did, but the actual like lava chicken looks really tasty, and I want to eat it. Here we go. Yeah, he sings the lava chicken song, which has now become the shortest song in history to make the top 100 chart. I think. Let me see how high it got. Hold on. Lava
Marvelous.
chicken top 100. According
Number
to
78.
according to Google AI, Steve's Lava Chicken debuted at number 78 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song is notable for being the shortest song ever to chart on the Hot 100, clocking in at just 34 seconds. That's impressive.
Nice.
That must be a fun record for Jack Black. Like, yeah, I have the shortest song in history on the top 100. So,
Right.
yeah, he keeps singing. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the chicken.
There it. Oh my
It
gosh.
looks so good. Like,
I
don't-
want rotisserie chicken now.
I don't know how they made it. This is not CGI. You can tell this is not CGI. Like, just the
It's
way,
a real
No,
thing.
It's a real-
it looks delicious.
the way it pulls apart. Oh my gosh.
Like, didn't you say it was made of silicone?
I think, yeah.
It's made of like silicone, yeah.
They
It
made
was
out of,
silicone,
like,
and then
rubber
they
silicone.
Gosh,
and then
it
they
looks so
like
yummy.
just green screened it.
Lava chicken.
They did a really good
Behind
job
the
with the
scenes,
practical
yeah.
effects.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like, stuff looked great.
They have, yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. There's like a clip somewhere of, yeah, here it is.
Can't have someone
Of like
Jack
him
Black in the
singing the
film
Lava
not
Chicken
use
song.
Watching Jack do Hot Lava Chicken and like burning my mouth. That was a real fun day.
It was pretty magical. I mean, it was right out of the gate.
So he,
We
like,
did one take of him singing.
they did the song in one take.
Right.
They're like, all right, Jack, make up a song. You got one take to do it. And he's like, alrighty. And then he drops a banger, and they're like, all right, that's a wrap, everybody.
He is Jack Black is really good at improvisation
He is.
with music.
I like Jack Black a lot. He's a big old goofy goober. So then we cut to they're looking for a map so they can. What? I forgot what they were looking for a map for.
Get to the Woodland
The
Manor
Woodland
to get a
Mansion,
new
that's
Earth
right.
crystal.
Yeah,
yeah.
so because he broke the first Earth crystal, they need to get to the Woodland Mansion to get the second one. And then we cut to the Nether again, and we're introduced to General Chungus, who he's like this big hulking guy with just the most like
Hi, Malgosia.
I now go he sounds like a flaming homosexual. Like, he's very flamboyant. He's like, hi, Malgosia. Oh, I love lava chicken. And then Malgosia gives him like a potion to drink because they need to drink netherwort or else they'll zombify. They'll turn into zombies in the overworld. And so she gives this entire army of like hundreds of piglins a single bottle of the netherwort. And then so how they divvied that up among them is beyond me, because if I had to guess, that's like an 8-ounce water bottle, right? Like, you're not getting very much out of that. I thought that
He's all, take baby sips, everyone.
take baby sips. We've only got a little bit to go around. And then they invade the overworld. And Jack's like,
After Jason Momoa makes a bucket.
yeah, Jason Momoa makes a bucket nunchuck. And
Or what's he called?
Buckchuckets.
Chuck
Buck
buckets.
He called them
Buck
Buckchuckets.
He calls them buck
Yeah.
chuckets. Yeah, so here he is, and he's like, they're called buck chuckets. Yeah, cool, great, Garrett. They're like nunchucks. I know, that's why I made them. And they're called buck chuckets.
They're
buck chuckets.
chuckets. Yeah, right.
And then
What?
And then the kid builds like a gun that can launch potato tots.
The tot launcher. Yeah, I
called
love
the
this.
tot launcher.
Can I play with your tot launcher
So,
when you're
He
done?
makes this potato tot launcher, and then Jason Momoa was like, "Can I play with your tot launcher when you're done?" I said when we were watching it, it's like when you're at a birthday party, right? And the kid gets a new Nerf gun or something, and you're like, "Dude, that's so cool! Can I try it? Can I try the Nerf gun when you're done?"
You're right.
And then the piglins attack, and
I gotta say, the villagers are kind of creepy
the
looking.
villagers are creepy looking. It's Uncanny Valley because their bodies are practically
Actual
shot.
people.
Yeah, so from the neck down, this is an actual person in a costume, and then they CGI the head onto the villagers.
So it's very uncanny.
It is uncanny. And then Steve runs into General Chungus, and he goes, "Hey, Steve, sorry I have to, like, unalive you and stuff."
I hate. Okay, I'm gonna go on a rant for a minute. I hate the term unalive.
Yeah.
It was born of dumb censorship rules, and it just.
It's because YouTube doesn't let you say KILL.
Right? It's so. Dumb.
I think it's perfectly fine in this because it's funny.
It's
but
funny in
I don't
this.
like it when it's I don't like it when it's like, unironic.
I hear
Yeah.
people like in real life say unalive, and I'm like, stop.
Well, it's like you'll be watching like a documentary on YouTube, and there's like, because there's pretty good documentarists on YouTube, but then instead of saying kill, they'll say like, "Oh, and then Jeffrey Dahmer unalived his victim." Like, oh, we get it, but you don't need to censor yourself, dude. YouTube censorship laws are just abysmal. The gang,
See Jason Momoa with the buck chuckets getting his butt kicked.
the gang splits up. General Chungus dies. General Chungus is freaking dead. And then
He gets killed by Malgosia, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does get killed by Malgosia. That's right. So then we're on this cliffside, and they're being chased by. They split up. So the girls split up from the guys, and so now the guys are on this cliff, and they get elytra. Jack Black has elytras, which they haven't- somehow, because like he never specified if he's gone to the end or not, and that's the only way to get elytra.
He's only has the. And he talks about killing a Enderman and getting a Ender Pearl,
a single Ender Pearl, and then
which you need like a bunch to go to the end. So I don't know.
yeah, and then they go on this flight through the canyon, and Jack Black does not have an elytra, so
He forgot his.
he sits.
Yeah, that's.
He sits on Jason Momoa's back and pulls
Oh,
his hair,
dear.
pulls his hair to steer him like Ratatouille, and he's like, "No,
Let me
don't-
guide you with my hips.
Don't grab my hair." And he's like, "Relax, bro. Let me guide you with my hips."
Very
Jack
silly.
Black is such a goober.
It's very silly. They fly through this canyon, and then they do like a.
Hog Riders.
They do like a. They switch positions.
Yeah,
in like a 69 formation. So
Because they have to fit through like a tight hole.
they have to fit through a tight squeeze in the
I'm
canyon.
gonna squeeze you for safety.
And-
I understand.
And Jack Black goes, "I'm going to squeeze my legs for safety." And Jason goes, "I understand." Oh no, it's the other way around. And then they go through the canyon, and they make it. And then water bucket release. He climbs Jason
grabs
Momoa's.
his butt.
He climbs Jason Momoa's butt cheeks. This sounds very. If you're listening to this audio only, this sounds very sexual. But I promise you, this is not like. This is literally what happens in the movie. Like, it's very weird and very uncomfortable. And then they all crash into this crowd of pandas.
Panda family.
Panda family. And then the girls do a thing with the boat. Nobody cares. Blah blah blah. And then we cut.
Villager laughs at them for
And then-
being dumb.
And then we cut to Jennifer Coolidge with the villager at dinner, and the villager kind of waggles its eyebrows. It goes like, yeah, there it goes. And
Oh wait, we're about to see Jeb.
then and then Jeb comes in. Jeb is there he is. So
There he is.
this is the guy that co-created Minecraft. Notch is the creator of Minecraft, and Notch is.
So this guy,
Yeah.
yeah, this guy took over after Notch sold it, because he was always a developer on Minecraft.
Yeah.
When Notch finally started like having people help him,
Mm-hmm.
but this guy took over when Notch sold it to Microsoft.
Yeah. And they they don't let Notch get involved anymore. They've all kind of disavowed him because he's very staunchly conservative. Which that's not like a bad thing, but I do like that Notch is creating his own video game now, called Levers and Chests. And I'm looking forward to that. It's good to see Notch developing games again.
Because Minecraft was originally supposed to be a dungeon crawler.
Yeah. And it still kind of is. Like, you can still... That's, like, a big part of it, is the dungeon
I know,
crawling
but
aspect.
it was supposed to be, like a traditional dungeon crawler, which looks like that's what he's making now, which
Mm-hmm.
I love.
Yeah. And so then we go back to the overworld, and they're like,
All
why
right,
is...
this was a plot point is... So, Jason Momoa's character, Garrett... Right, so the reason Steve is, back, he didn't escape from the dungeon. They let him go because they threatened his dog. Like, oh, we'll kill your dog if you don't get us the cube. So he wants the cube. Jason Momoa is like, I'll give you the cube if you give me riches. So they're going to Steve's secret diamond stash under the mountain.
And he's like, I'll give you the orb, if you give me a bunch of diamonds so I can go back and get money
And
from them.
it's like so unnecessary because Steve probably would have just given him a bunch of diamonds anyway.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, because they've kind of been, like, buddy this whole time. Like, he could have just said, like, hey, I need help. Could you spare me a couple diamonds? Because diamonds are already... Like, you get, like, 1 or 2 diamonds. That's still a lot of money.
Especially with how big these ones
Oh, yeah.
are. Like, holy crap.
Like, dude's finna become the next Jeff Bezos with all those
Well, here's the thing, like,
diamonds.
so looking at the size of, like, the little ingots they have in the game, in this movie, like, if you had, like, 4 or 5 gold ingots, you would be very comfortable for a while.
Yeah. And so they're walking towards the mine, and then Jack
just
Black explains
Malgosha.
Malgosha's backstory. And so Malgosha was a dancer, and she wanted to dance. And they play
Her moves are pretty out there.
her moves are pretty epic, not gonna lie.
Her moves were too out there.
They were very
she
out
got
there.
messed up hard. Like,
And so then they make fun of her for dancing, and then her dad's like, "What'd I tell you about all that dancing? And I'm tired of you chasing your dreams. Now take this axe and go find some gold." And so then she becomes evil, and she denounces all forms of creativity, and now she wants to get the orb and block out the sun because the overworld is, like, too creative or something. Like, it's not super
Well, it's also
clear.
she wants to invade it to find more gold
To find
because
more
the
gold.
Nether. Because I mentioned like they've stripped the Nether of gold pretty much,
Yeah.
and they're so greedy.
And so Jack still thinks that they have Dennis, but Dennis is not with them, in fact. But he wants to go save Dennis, which is why he's got to get the pearl. So they go to the Redstone Mansion. Malgosha kills General Chungus, which is like a hate crime because, of course, he's homosexual. And, justice for... Hashtag justice for
General
Chungus. Like...
he was the biggest one. Hashtag Big Chungus
Big
for real.
Chungus.
Jeez.
So, then she summons this giant beast called the Great Hog, and now they're gonna go out and invade the overworld. And then we cut to I want to say her name's Natalie.
Yeah, well, it just said that right there on the subtitles.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Natalie and the plus-sized real estate agent, and they're
Real estate. I don't know her name.
they're casually walking around and talking about how being an adult sucks, and she's like, I want to protect my brother. I promised my mom I wouldn't let anything happen to him.
They're beating up this one zombie.
They
and-
keep
oh,
beating up
there's
this
the
one
dog.
zombie with a shovel, and then they come across Dennis, who for some reason is feral again, even though he's tamed. But I guess he lost his collar, so he's feral again. So because the real estate lady works with animals, she gives a bone to Dennis, and then they become best friends Which Dennis is actually kind of adorable. I like the character design for Dennis.
Wait, Minecraft wolves are already like super cute, and they
Yeah.
just made this one cuter.
He's so adorable. Look at him. And then they find out it's
His
Steve's.
little face.
It's Steve's Dennis, and they're gonna go find Steve. And so then we cut back to Steve and the kid and Jason Momoa, and they're walking through the mine.
His booby
It's a
traps.
booby trap. That
Which is cactus launcher.
spikes him in the butt with a cactus. And then there's these like slime cubes, and these look like Jello. These look like lime Jello, and I want to eat them.
Gosh, this movie just made me hungry.
It's so good, dude. I don't know how. Like, it's like Studio Ghibli levels of food design. But then they go to
I just
get
ate a snack. I'm still starving.
go get a snack, dude. Like,
One sec. I got my fridge right here. Let's see. What do we got?
what you got in
here?
your
Just-
fridge?
Nothing.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I hope this video does well. I can buy some like sandwiches.
I'll have to if we get payment on this video, I'm gonna have to split it 3 ways. They find.
You don't have to do that.
Nah, I'm going to. We do get monetization, but we've only ever gotten a big payout once, and it was like $100. So
Once, right? That I remember that. That's
Reese and I each got 50. But they
lovely.
find the diamonds, and the kid is like, "What? You were gonna just take the diamonds and leave? Why would you do that, you jerk?" And he's like, "I got." And Garrett's like, "I got
got
my own-
bills.
I got bills. I gotta pay bills." Which is something you would never understand as a kid or whatever. And then the Great Hog and the Piglins start chasing them again. They go to a minecart.
Yeah, this is a little funny bit where he's like, "Oh, we're out of redstone and my torch is out."
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so they run out of redstone on the track. There's like redstone tracks up here, and those cause you to go faster. And so they stopped in a canyon full of creepers, which seems like really
He said
stupid.
it's his creeper. It says it's his creeper farm,
Yeah.
but you can't farm creepers in Minecraft. There's no spawner for them, so this is weird.
Well, there's like mob grinders. Like you can make a mob grinder, and farm.
Right, I know, but it would be full of every other type of mob as well.
That is true. Also, it just seems kind of stupid to be like, why would you build? I'm assuming Steve built this.
This section of track.
So why would you
without?
build? Why would you build a section of track through your explosive creeper farm without any redstone to speed ahead? Like, I hope nobody got fired for that.
It's a good question.
So Garrett gets out and pushes the cart, and the zombies chase after him. They start slapping creepers to make them explode, and then
They kill the Great Hog.
They kill the Great Hog, so that was all that build up for nothing. And then there they go, and then they start arguing, and Garrett's told that by the kid. The kid says he's the most selfish person that he's ever met, because he wants to pay his bills. Like,
It was because they took a detour to go through the cave. They didn't have to go to the mountain.
that is true. They didn't have to go through the mountain, and his detour almost got them killed. And he's like, "I thought we were friends." And the guy's like, "I was." The kid's like,
I was your friend.
I was.
Who
your
was
friend."
your friend?
So I guess it's supposed to be like the cliche third act breakup. That movie's
Also, I
always
love
good.
how this movie. What's really funny is it happens all in basically real time
Yeah.
because Steve mentions that it's a day-night cycle every 20 minutes, and we get that in the movie. It's really funny.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, that is impressive.
Because the whole time the dinner date is still going
Yeah,
on.
there's every scene for the rest of. They're still at the dinner date. They reuse the clip of him waggling his eyebrows again. So, and then the waiter says, "Are you finished?" And she goes, "No, he's Swedish, but we're done with our meal." Which
She hasn't touched.
she has.
That looks like an amazing baked
Look at
potato.
that
I
potato,
want
dude.
that.
That looks so good. Why would you?
Ah!
Then
And he hasn't touched his either.
they come to the Woodland Mansion, and they make this model, and they're like, "All right, guys, we're gonna Ocean's 11 this. Here's the plan. Steve and Jason Momoa are going to distract the pillagers while the kid goes and finds the other crystal. And they thought they lost the crystal, I guess, but Garrett had it the whole time, and so he stole the orb and gave it back. And he's like, dude, you're a jerk, but I forgive you, I guess. And then they go to the mansion, and Jack Black gets to sing with a mushroom on his head again. So they've got saxophone.
That's saxophone.
Which...
Gosh, Jack Black reliving his saxoboom days.
I love that.
You're right.
I love
So
that
dumb.
clip. I love that clip of him playing the saxoboom on, like, Jimmy Fallon.
Was it Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah,
I don't
here
remember.
it
His
is.
saxoboom.
It was Jimmy Fallon. And so, yeah, this was from a while ago.
I've seen you in concert. I've seen you perform.
And he gets the saxoboom, and he's like...
Which is just
You ready? Yeah.
as rare as a Stradivarius. He's pretending like it's a real instrument.
I like you can see him blowing into it like it's a real instrument.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, mother.
It's funny watching him get into this though, and then he starts playing with the roots. That must be so fun, dude. But yeah, so they're playing their instruments, and then the kid goes to,
Square saxophone.
the kid goes to find the orb. He's chased by Vindicators, and then they ring the bell, and they throw Jason Momoa and Jack Black into a wrestling arena, where we get the famous chicken jockey scene. And
The result of many burning downs of theaters.
gosh, this is like, if you're listening to this in the future, right? This scene,
In case you missed it.
this scene caused so many theaters to just
Have destruction.
like there was one. Someone brought like an actual chicken into the theater. Yeah, here we go. So they start throwing.
This.
They start throwing popcorn. There's a guy with an actual chicken. The cops are called. Someone launched a fireworks in one of these theaters.
Oh yeah, it became a huge meme. But like, I remember like there's one where like the theater almost burned to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here it is. And then they stopped the movie.
That's a different movie.
Oh, that's a different. Wait, there was a clip where it
Yeah,
was
that's an
actually
entirely different movie.
No, I saw
Oh,
like
well,
a
it's
clip
fine.
where like they froze the fireworks and like escorted everybody out during this. And it got so bad that like Jack Black actually came to one of the theaters and he was like, "All right, guys, we're gonna have fun and watch this movie. And I know you really like Chicken Jockey, but we're not gonna do anything crazy, okay, guys?" Like,
You're a collective. Oh,
this is the same clip.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, let me see most wildest reactions to Chicken Jockey in its top 5. So let's.
Chicken jockey!
Yeah, so cheering and stuff, like, yeah, that's normal. That's relatively harmless.
Like, all right, that's cool.
They start throwing stuff at the screen though, like paper.
Yeah, it's whatever they're holding.
There's.
Someone jockeying. Okay.
I don't understand like. I understand being excited for a movie, and it's
That poor chicken.
I feel so bad for that chicken, dude.
He's probably like, what the fuck?
Honestly, it's literally just like the Rise of Gru movie, and I love it. Like, it's
Well,
just
yeah, but at least they were
what's happening in
respectful
this
for that one. Yeah, they're.
nah, they threw bananas and stuff for that.
Yeah. There's the.
Okay, that
Good
last one was
grief.
made up, but
No, that doesn't look made up. Like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's made up.
yeah, about to
I could
say
tell
that's
from
that's made up.
Chicken Jockey.
They made that.
Chicken Jockey opens portal to hell. I don't understand,
Oh, gosh.
and it's, they had enough of it, and so there was, like, a theater employee, like, if
no
you
way
guys yelled chicken jockey, I'm
Yeah.
calling the effing
people
cops.
are still yelling chicken jockey almost a month, saying that if anyone yells
Right.
chicken jockey, she's gonna have to call.
Yeah,
the
there
cops.
she was.
Any of you yelling chicken jockey in this theater, I will be calling the authorities.
But not on them.
So ridiculous.
And I feel bad, because, like, they're absolutely right to be upset at that. I don't understand why you would bring fireworks or chickens into a real movie theater.
The chicken's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, as long as you're not
Poor
throwing it
chicken.
at
The
someone.
chicken is
Like,
kind of funny.
All right, so
Yeah, so the chicken jockey thing
right,
happened.
okay, so back to the movie.
Yeah. They,
So while this is happening, he's like rummaging through their storeroom, finding all this loot,
Yep.
and an Enderman shows up and does some weird stuff. Oh gosh,
Those are, dude,
more
those
pork.
are, I think that's like rotten flesh, though, because you can see, like, mold on the steak.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we get more of the fighting, and then he finds the crystal,
The Earth crystal.
the earth crystal.
The Earth crystal.
And then the Enderman shows up behind him and causes him
The
to, like,
creepiest Enderman.
he's, like, terrifying, dude. Like, look at that
Hallucinate.
guy. The character design for the mobs is pretty good in this movie. But it causes him to hallucinate, and he
That
hallucinates,
everyone's like telling him how much of a loser he is.
and he sees Herobrine.
Yes, Hero Brian is in
Yeah,
the
so everyone's eyes are
Yeah!
literally just 5 seconds of him.
Because
Yeah.
everyone else has like glowing purple,
Purple
eyes,
eyes.
but nope, these are blue.
his are like white blue, and I saw like someone tweeting that allegedly this was actually a rendering error that they just kept in, which I think is really funny, because that's like the whole inside joke with Herobrine is like, oh, he's a bug that the team can't get rid of, and so every time you see an update for Minecraft, it always says removed Herobrine at the bottom.
It hasn't in a while,
It hasn't,
but like the joke they stopped. I'm like, ah, it's dumb.
it used to, but yeah, he kills the Enderman, and then he gets an Ender Pearl, and then
Which will be useful later.
Which will be useful later. They escape, and they're like, yeah, we're friends now. And then they run out. Malgosha is here now, though, and she brings a bunch of pigs with
Oh yeah, they
TNT.
rebuilt the big pig.
They rebuilt the big pig. They bring a bunch of pigs with TNT to, like, they're going to destroy the bridge. And then they use the slime block, which looks like lime jello, to escape onto this hot air balloon gas. But they leave Garrett behind. And he's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself.
Oh, he chooses. Yeah, he chooses to stay behind.
He chooses to stay behind. But the explosion
on
looks
his
pretty
cool
cool. The
shade.
explosion is pretty cool. I like the explosion. That looks pretty sick.
There's good explosions in this
The
movie.
explosions in this movie are excellent. Which is a weird thing to say. But then they black out and they're woken up, and Steve is reunited with Dennis, and yay, good for him. And then the brother and the sister are reunited. And then they're like, all right, we got to come up with a plan, because now the portal is opening up. But the brother and the sister, they have like a moment where they're like, I'm not gonna stifle you so much. I was afraid that I lost you. Blah blah blah. Like heartfelt slow moment in the Minecraft movie. They use the cube that they stole to. The pigs use the cube, and they open up the sky portal to turn the entire world into the Nether. And then
Yeah, they block out the sun.
They
Netherwort starts growing. So, because that's a whole plot point, is that the piglins cannot be in the overworld because they turn into zombies.
yeah,
Except Netherwort keeps them from doing that, so they're just growing Netherwort everywhere.
yeah. So they block out the sun, Mr. Burns style, and then they start destroying everything. And they're like, we're gonna avenge this world for Garrison. Let's Minecraft. They say, we're gonna mine and we're gonna craft. We're gonna Minecraft. And everybody in the theater cheers.
Let's do a Minecraft.
Let's do a
Everyone stands and
Minecraft.
claps.
Then they start building like a bunch of iron golems and taming a bunch of wolves. And they build up like an army to fight this giant piglin invasion.
Which I said, this whole scene, I pointed this out. It reminds me of the Warcraft movie because Malgosia is Gul'dan, creating a giant portal to summon the army of basically orcs.
Yeah. They build like an iron golem with fleet shoes on it, or like boots of speed on it.
It's the boots of swiftness, which are also from dungeons.
Yeah. And then now they have this super fast, super powered iron golem that can like fight really fast, and it's moving at like 1,000 tick speed.
Oh yeah,
this bit was funny.
Iron golems will not attack unless provoked.
And then one of the pigs lets loose an arrow,
shoots it with a crossbow,
and everyone's like, "Nice going, idiot!" I thought that was funny because they could have just snuck past the golems, but there was just that one guy that had to ruin it for everybody else. But yeah, they fight, and then they use the Ender Pearl to get up to the top of the tower. Steve has full diamond armor now. And he looks,
except he doesn't have leggings.
He doesn't have leggings. He just looks really, really goofy. Like, this is the kind of thing you'd see at Comic-Con. Like, someone walking around in this kind of getup.
The kid with his cardboard Minecraft armor.
Yeah. And so then they fight. Steve belly flops to the ground and gets his diamond armor destroyed.
He flings chickens at her.
He throws eggs at Malgosia, and it makes chickens appear. So then they use the Ender Pearl, they steal the orb back, and then the wolves come in and they start attacking all the pigs. And then there's like a power cannon. The piglins have power cannons now, which, is that from Minecraft Dungeons as well?
I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that is like not in the original Minecraft game, so I just have to assume that it's from like Minecraft Dungeons. But yeah, he almost dies. He gets blasted off by the pig with the cannon from the top of the building, and then he gets saved by Garrison at the last minute, like Han Solo coming.
It turns out he used the water bucket trick to survive.
Water bucket release, and then he saves. It's very reminiscent of like when Han Solo saves Luke at the last minute in A New Hope, and he's like, "Good job, kid. Now let's blow this and go home." And
which he does.
He does say that. He says, "Let's
literally blow it up.
Let's get this orb and go home." And then they blow up the orb, and all the good guys win. All the zombies, all the piglins start turning into zombies.
The pigs turn, including Malgosia. Which this is where Malice said that it feels really sad for them because they're just little guys.
Like, they're not really evil.
They're like. Everyone's cheering when they're being like burnt alive and everything and zombified.
It's like, oh,
but I just felt kind of bad
because like aside from Malgosia, they're not really evil. Like, they just want to kind of get gold and then hang out. So
yeah, like, and liking gold isn't inherently bad. Like, everyone likes gold, but like,
and then
it's just it's noted that they're really greedy.
They are.
Like, they're willing to invade. Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, even like General Chungus was like fairly polite, even though he had to kill Jack. He was like, "Sorry, I gotta like unalive you and stuff." Like, it's. Just...
Even like when he was fighting Jason Momoa's character,
he was like, "Just hand it over."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Those are nice moves."
So then the
sorry, I have to do this to you.
The golem of swiftness fights the big pig and gets the cube back, and everybody wins. And then Malgosia is turning into a zombie.
She keeps trying to stab Jack Black.
She's like, "Come closer. I have to tell you a secret." And he's like, "You're just gonna stab me." And she's like, "What? No, come here. Come closer." And he's like, "All right." And then she pulls out a knife, and she does this like 3 times. She does this 3 times before Jack is just like, "All right, I don't believe you. Bye."
Because she keeps picking the knife up and putting it back under her cloak.
There's this bit here where the camera's focusing in on Jack Black, and you can kind of see like digital artifacting around like the helmet. Like, it looks like they green screened him in. Like, you can see like a little bit of shadowing. It looks like he's not really there.
I gotta say, the effect on the helmet, like, the helmet looks really cool.
The helmet does look pretty cool. And then Jack Black says, "Getting to know you has been a horror show waste of time," which I thought that was hilarious because I bet that's what everyone was thinking when they left the theater. Like, that happened.
No,
that was
this
a waste.
movie was great.
Yeah, it was all right. But yeah, Malgosia does the thing. She's like, "No, I'm too weak. wait, let me say one more thing. No, really, it's about you. Then Jack's
You
like,
really are the worst.
You're the worst. Goodbye. And then he's like, no, come back. I don't have a knife. And then she pulls another knife out.
And she's got it in her head.
She's got another knife. And these two pigs are like the only ones that don't zombify because they've got like netherwort incense.
And they're sent, yeah.
But yeah, she's just dead. She just dies. Like, that's a humiliating position to die in, dude. Like,
that's like her weird hunchback.
She just turns into a triangle.
The weirdest shape in Minecraft, the triangle.
And so then they're about to go back, and Jack's gonna stay behind, and they're like, "Are you sure you don't want to come and like spread your creativity in the real world?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I'll send Dennis. Dennis will go with you. Dennis the dog. What?
Dennis.
Dennis like
he sings his weird song.
He sings this song to Dennis, and Dennis like actually looks like he's gonna cry, and it's kind of sad. Like, look at you can see tears forming in his eyes. Like his ears are pinned back. I feel bad
He's
for
such
this
a
little
good dog.
He's such a good boy. But then he changes his mind. They go to the overworld, and the game place becomes like a new hotspot. They invent a fighting video game based on Minecraft. Called Block Party Battles or Block City Battles or something.
Block City Battle Buddies.
Yeah.
Block City Battle Buddies. There you go.
Dawn opens a self-defense class, and then Henry invents the jetpack, and the bullies are like, "Oh, like I thought we destroyed the jetpack, dude."
Man, we're so dumb.
And then they have like a dance party, and the movie ends, but not before we get this hilarious scene of Jennifer Coolidge and the villager, and her ex-husband comes in, and she's like,
and it's the art teacher.
It's the art teacher, and he's like, "This is the guy," and the villager starts speaking in
you totally blew it.
Posh British English. He's like, "I met her 24 hours ago, and now we're getting married, and you totally blew it."
He goes, ever since last night.
Ever since last night when she hit me with her Jeep Grand Cherokee.
So you realize this whole movie takes place over just a day.
24-hour period about.
This is like, this
really
whole thing,
funny.
it's just a single day that all this happens. If that.
It's really funny.
It's a fun, I would say, I don't know, what are your guys' final thoughts on this movie?
Honestly, I had a good time. I thought it was funny.
I enjoyed it. My hopes were low, so I was impressed, to say the least.
It was pretty fun. I liked it. The fact that it says a Minecraft movie implies that there's gonna be more. So I like the idea that like we get different Minecraft movies, but sort of like an anthology. I think did I say this at the beginning of the podcast?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. But yeah, this movie made a lot of money. They're planning a sequel, so we'll see what happens.
But I would rate this movie 7 lava chickens out of 10.
I would rate it 5 I ams out of Steve.
I honestly, I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. It's a stupid movie for sure, but it is a lot.
Watch
of fun.
it once.
It's not the kind of movie that you want to watch alone. It's a lot better to watch it with friends. Like, get a small group together.
Oh yeah.
Like, get a group together, watch it, make fun of it.
I mean, we just watched it together. We had a really fun time because it was really, really funny.
It was very funny. So that's...
It's like...
It got really quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, it did. Oh, what happened?
I was like, oh. It is a lot of fun, but I think that's about gonna do it for the podcast today. If you have any...
All right.
Should we spin the wheel and see what next week's will be?
Oh gosh, yeah, let's do it.
Let's
bring up the wheel of doom.
So, all right, we can cross the Minecraft movie off. This is our first season lineup.
We've got a bunch of weird freaking movies.
So,
here.
all right, let's spin the wheel and see what we're reviewing next week.
The
winner is the Bob's Burgers movie. All right. So next week we will be reviewing and watching the Bob's Burgers movie. So be there or be square, I guess.
You square like in Minecraft.
Square like in Minecraft. Thank you guys for listening, and hopefully the format will improve. This is our first time doing this, but we'll see what happens. So goodbye.
Farewell.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.